NBA releasing a statement this morning about the arrest. It reads in part, "We are in the process of reviewing the federal indictments announced today."
LeBron James, the king himself, might not just be playing basketball.
Everybody else at the poker game, from the dealer to the players, including the face cards, were in on the scam.
LeBron James might have been playing the system.
Of the Department of Justice and our great Attorney General and the leadership that we have at the FBI and the team here to specifically mete out justice. And look, let's not, mince words. This is the insider trading saga for the NBA. That's what this is. That's why we are going to take heat. But as the evidence comes out, as the indictments are unsealed, you will see the extensive work these men and women put in. Countless hours.
It all started when a mysterious federal document leaked online, sealed, redacted, and stamped with the words, "Confidential, Operation Full Court Press." Yeah, sounds like a movie, right? But this isn't Netflix. This is the real-world chaos swirling around LeBron James, the Lakers, and an alleged underground data for dollars ring that the FBI claims manipulated high-stakes betting markets using private player intel. At first, everyone thought it was clickbait, another random rumor cooked out by a bored Reddit thread. But then the receipts started dropping. Anonymous insiders, encrypted screenshots, late-night raids in Beverly Hills. Suddenly, the whispers started sounding a lot more like evidence. And right in the center of it all, LeBron's longtime business associate, a man the internet now calls the banker. According to sources familiar with the matter, he's been the silent bridge between NBA locker rooms and offshore betting accounts since 2022. The FBI reportedly believes that he wasn't acting alone, that someone high up knew exactly how injury reports, trade talks, and team rotations were being leaked before the public ever saw them. And you guessed it. One of those names happens to rhyme suspiciously with LeBron James. Now, before anyone freaks out, let's make this clear. LeBron hasn't been charged with anything, but the fact that federal agents have officially confirmed his communications are under review is enough to send the sports world into meltdown mode. Because let's be honest, this isn't just another tabloid rumor.
This is the FBI, the Department of Justice, and, rumor has it, even a special cyber fraud task force, usually reserved for Wall Street. The same people who cracked the FTX crypto scandal are now digging through encrypted NBA chat servers. And the wildest part? Apparently, they've already found something. Early reports claim investigators uncovered coded group chats labeled with code names like Baseline and Timeout Express, messages where participants allegedly discussed predictive outcomes, a fancy phrase for "we know who's sitting out tonight." Who were the users behind those aliases? Nobody knows for sure. But digital forensic analysts say the message patterns, timestamps, and IP pings trace back to devices once synced to, wait for it, LeBron James's management cloud. And that's where things start spiraling, because you have to understand, LeBron isn't just a player, he's a walking empire. Multi-billion-dollar endorsements, production studios, charities, political connections, sneaker deals, you name it. So when his name shows up in an FBI-linked investigation, it's not just bad optics, it's a national tremor. The Lakers organization reportedly held an emergency meeting the night the leaks dropped. Sources say players were told to avoid digital communication about ongoing events. Translation, keep your phones silent and your mouths shut. Meanwhile, online, the firestorm was instant. Twitter, Reddit, TikTok flooded with conspiracy threads connecting LeBron's recent business expansions to hidden crypto wallets and off-the-books foundations. One viral post claimed that an old charity event in Miami, hosted by LeBron in 2023, secretly doubled as a fundraiser for one of these underground networks. The post was deleted hours later, but screenshots are forever. And here's where the dominoes start falling. Because remember that mysterious business partner we mentioned? The banker? Well, a separate insider leak, allegedly from someone inside the U.S. Attorney's Office, claims that he's been cooperating with investigators for months. And guess who he's been talking about? LeBron. Not accusing him directly, but describing patterns of communication that raised eyebrows. Now look, in the world of federal investigations, that phrase, raised eyebrows, is code for, we think something smells funny, but we can't prove it yet. Still, the timing couldn't be worse. Just as LeBron was rolling out his newest luxury sneaker line, the FBI quietly unsealed 2 indictments connected to the Operation Full Court Press probe, one for insider wagering and one for data leak conspiracy. Neither mentioned LeBron by name, but both referenced a high-profile athlete with access to privileged team information. Social media didn't need a name. They connected the dots in seconds. And the memes? Brutal. From the court to the courtroom, one tweet joked. Another read, LeBron really took assist to a whole new level. Harsh, but that's the internet for you. Fast, ruthless, and allergic to nuance. But here's where things get even crazier. Remember that viral clip from 2024? The one of LeBron joking with rapper Drake about always knowing when to sit out? It resurfaced this week, but now through a completely different lens. Online sleuths are breaking it down frame by frame, claiming the joke might have been a veiled reference to predictive betting. Drake hasn't commented, but his team reportedly requested that the clip be taken down to avoid misinterpretation. Too late, the damage is done. Meanwhile, back in Washington, D.C., congressional staffers are reportedly pushing for a full audit of professional sports betting partnerships, particularly those involving celebrity investors. That's right, the ripples of this LeBron saga are reaching Capitol Hill. And yet through all of it, LeBron stays silent. Not a word, not a tweet, not even a cap emoji. His spokesperson issued one carefully written statement. Mr. James is fully committed to transparency and has no involvement in any improper activity. But to the internet, that sounded less like confidence and more like containment. Because people have questions, big ones. Like, why did federal agents show up at a certain Beverly Hills storage unit leased under LeBron's entertainment company the same day his former trainer's house got raided in Akron? Or why were two of his financial advisors quietly replaced last month with outside counsel? Coincidence? Maybe. But in this climate, everything looks suspicious. And the whispers don't stop there. A supposed leaked summary from the investigation claims the operation's encrypted data trail runs through multiple media influence accounts, platforms used to manipulate betting odds in real time by leaking false information about player conditions. Think about that, fake injury rumors spreading online to tilt the betting line, and then those rumors suddenly coming true hours later. Who had the power to make that happen? The feds say, only someone with real inside access. Now, you don't have to be a detective to realize there aren't many people in the NBA who fit that description better than LeBron James. As the sun set over LA that night, reporters camped outside his Brentwood mansion, hoping for a glimpse, a comment, a reaction, anything. But the gates stayed closed. The king had gone dark, and that silence, that cold, careful silence, spoke louder than any press conference ever could. The next morning, Los Angeles woke up to chaos. Helicopters circling the skyline, news anchors pacing through breaking updates, and every sports show in America flashing the same headline. FBI expands LeBron probe. Digital forensics uncover hidden network. That's when the real madness began. Apparently overnight, federal agents submitted new filings confirming they had retrieved data fragments from a cloud storage system linked to LeBron's management agency. And what they found inside was bizarre. Encrypted folders labeled projects, media relations, and event schedules. Normal, right? But tucked between those, folders titled plays, predicts, and one especially suspicious name, bench notes. Investigators say the files contained time-stamped messages about upcoming games, player rotations, and expected absences days before those absences were officially announced. That's not coincidence. That's foresight. And according to one federal source quoted anonymously in the Los Angeles Ledger, the detail level suggests the involvement of someone with direct access to player health reports. Translation: whoever was feeding this info was inside the system. Naturally, all eyes turned back to LeBron's inner circle, the people who've been with him for years, his trainers, business partners, friends, and even family. And in the middle of it all stood Damon the Banker Jones, the former assistant turned advisor. Now, Jones is a complicated character. For years, he was seen courtside with LeBron, a loyal companion, always there, always quiet. But the FBI believes Jones used that loyalty as cover for something much darker, an information exchange network disguised as sports management. Court filings now suggest that Jones communicated through an encrypted platform called Blackboard X, an invite-only app the Bureau says was used by a handful of NBA insiders to share private updates with investors and gamblers overseas. And if you're wondering how deep it goes, buckle up, because among the users of that same app, a few surprising names. A sports data analyst with ties to Vegas betting circles, a crypto fund manager from Miami, and, here's the kicker, an employee once listed under one of LeBron's marketing subsidiaries. That's right, the paper trail doesn't just lead to LeBron's
now
orbit,
let's get this straight.
It lives there.
No one's saying LeBron personally sent those messages, but in federal terms, chain of custody is everything. If the data originated from a device or server tied to your organization, your name is officially in play. And that's exactly where the storm is headed. ESPN analysts tried to play it cool, calling the situation overblown. But privately, producers are panicking. Advertisers are freezing contracts. Even Nike's PR team reportedly entered quiet mode, pausing all upcoming promotional drops featuring LeBron's image. And then came the curveball. An anonymous tipster, supposedly a former NBA employee, leaked a spreadsheet to a sports blog called The Fourth Quarter Files. The document listed predictive wagers placed in 2023 on games involving the Lakers. Each bet coincided exactly with nights when LeBron sat out, and the total winnings? Over $2.7 million. Now here's where the hairs on your neck start standing up. Every single one of those bets was placed through an offshore betting site that had already been flagged in an unrelated Diddy-linked investigation last year. Same region, same payment processor, same ghost accounts. You seeing the pattern yet? Investigators are, and that's what's terrifying the league. Because this isn't just about a few shady bets. This could be the biggest insider betting ring in sports history, and its fingerprints are all over one of the most celebrated athletes on earth. Meanwhile, on social media, chaos reigns. Half the internet is defending LeBron like he's the victim of a deep state setup. The other half is already carving his name into the Mount Rushmore of scandals. One fan tweet that went viral read, "They went after Jordan with gambling, now they're coming for Bron. It's always the kings that get hunted." But not everyone's sympathetic. Former teammates are starting to distance themselves. Unfollow counts rising. Podcast hosts using phrases like, "You hate to see it, but you can't ignore it." Even LeBron's once favorite talk shows are turning cautious, suddenly skipping topics about him entirely, replacing segments with generic NBA headlines. That's how you know the tension's real. And if all that wasn't wild enough, the investigation just crossed state lines. The Department of Justice's Eastern District officially merged the case with a parallel operation out of New York, the same one investigating alleged celebrity-backed shell corporations used for money transfers between entertainment and sports accounts. Sound familiar? Yeah, the same pattern we saw on Diddy's network. According to insiders, agents now believe that part of LeBron's business ecosystem might have unknowingly overlapped with the same corporate structures once used in that entertainment money laundering probe. Keyword, unknowingly. Still, it doesn't look good. Federal investigators thrive on patterns, and the overlap here is giving them a roadmap. Every name that shows up twice, every shared address, every repeated wire transfer. That's one more thread to pull. And speaking of pulling threads, the FBI's digital forensic team just dropped another bombshell. Metadata logs from LeBron's personal assistant's tablet reportedly showed cross-sign-in activity with Damon Jones's encrypted devices. That means someone, somewhere, was logging in from the same location, accessing both accounts. Accident? Maybe, but in a federal probe, there's no such thing as coincidence. By now, the Lakers organization is in damage control mode. The word crisis doesn't even cover it. NBA Commissioner Adam Silver released a statement calling the allegations deeply troubling, promising complete cooperation with federal authorities. Translation, we're bracing for impact. And yet, through all this, LeBron still hasn't spoken. No tweets, no interviews, no Instagram lives. Just silence. But behind the scenes, oh, it's loud. A leaked email, allegedly from LeBron's legal team to his management group, reads, "We will not engage in reactive PR. We will focus on securing all digital assets and ensuring chain of custody documentation for every connected device." In other words, they're expecting subpoenas. Now this is where things take a dark turn, because insiders claim the Bureau's next move isn't just about tracing money, it's about tracing influence. The rumor is that agents are now investigating whether certain sports analysts or media personalities were influenced to downplay the scandal in exchange for access or perks. It's not just who knew, it's who helped shape the narrative. Suddenly, it's not just a scandal, it's an empire under siege. But here's the wild part. Silence might be his best move. Because according to one ex-FBI consultant interviewed on Nightline, if LeBron's cooperating quietly, it could mean he's not a target, he's a witness. That one sentence changed everything. What if LeBron isn't the villain of this story? What if he's the chess piece caught between much bigger players, billion-dollar corporations, secret betting algorithms, and global money pipelines that use athletes as camouflage? Still, the internet doesn't wait for truth. It moves on outrage. And right now, LeBron is the face of it. Meanwhile, sources inside the Bureau claim the investigation has expanded yet again. This time, they're looking at charitable foundations tied to major sports figures, ones that allegedly moved donations through the same banking network now under federal review. And yes, one of those foundations shares a board member with LeBron's family office. Accidental overlap or a deliberate funnel? Nobody knows yet, but the questions are multiplying faster than the answers. And as the headlines grow bolder and the hashtags trend louder, one thing's crystal clear. This isn't a rumor anymore. This is a reckoning. LeBron's empire isn't crumbling. Not yet, but the cracks, they're starting to show. For weeks, it was containment. For weeks, it was silence. LeBron James, the man who built his entire legacy on flawless control, kept his poker face tight. But even the king has a breaking point. The pressure wasn't just the FBI anymore. It was the sponsors. Two major corporate partners, a massive soft drink brand and a blue-chip tech company, officially hit pause on all campaigns involving his likeness. Their statements were vanilla, seeking clarity. But the financial wave was a tsunami. The breaking point came yesterday. Our sources deep inside the Los Angeles District Attorney's Office confirmed that a final, devastating piece of evidence was presented to Damon Jones's legal team. It was not a text message, it was not a wire transfer. It was a digital map, a meticulous reconstruction of Jones's movements, proving he was physically present in the Lakers' training facility's secure medical wing less than 30 minutes before sending a key injury tip to his offshore betting ring. And the final proof of the full-court press conspiracy? The map was cross-referenced with security logs. The only person who signed Jones into that wing at that hour was LeBron James' head of security, acting on James's personal instruction. This was the smoking gun. This was the moment the FBI went from investigation to indictment. But they didn't charge LeBron. Instead, they used the pressure to make their move on Damon Jones. Sources whisper that prosecutors have offered Damon Jones a deal straight out of the RICO playbook, the ultimate carrot and stick, leniency in exchange for cooperation. The offer was simple but explosive. Tell investigators what LeBron knew and when he knew it. This case isn't just about gambling anymore. It's about money, loyalty, and how one powerful friendship could bring two entire industries under the same federal spotlight. This flip play is straight out of the federal handbook for crack and communication-heavy cases. If Damon Jones flips, this whole narrative could flip too. From a superstar betrayed by his friend to a global icon allegedly sharing inside info for mutual gain. The clock is ticking for Jones to decide. But the Bureau didn't stop there. They knew they needed to shake LeBron directly. Just hours ago, the New York field office unsealed a new, deeply redacted filing. It contained the final, stunning twist. The filing alleges that the charitable foundations they were looking at, the one sharing a board member with LeBron's family office, were used to route payments not just from the betting ring, but to pay for undocumented services at high-profile celebrity gatherings. The filing didn't mention Diddy, it didn't mention LeBron, but it cited dates and locations that perfectly matched the infamous and now shuttered freak-off party locations that have rocked the entertainment world. This wasn't just about money. This was about proximity and access to the darkest corners of celebrity influence. The media frenzy forced LeBron to break his silence. He held a press conference just moments ago, and what happened there sent genuine shockwaves through the room. LeBron James, for the first time in his public life, broke down. Tears welling up, his composure shattering, he could only offer a stammering defense of his character, not the evidence.